All right, let's see if we got this figured out. We'll give people a second to join. It's on. We are live.
It's like picture in picture.
All right, don't break the internet.
Did that already.
All right, hello everyone. Oh, it looks like you have, okay. Can you mute this?
It is muted.
It's coming from somewhere. Maybe it's mine. All right, we figured it out, guys.
Yeah.
We are started. This is AceBabie's Adventures. I have to close this a bit because I'm gonna get distracted. You keep an eye on the comments if we have any. All right, so this is episode 1 of AceBabie's Adventures. I'm here with Darryl. Sorry, this is... We were trying to get a slightly different setup, but that didn't work, so we are using the phone. So anyway, I will let Darryl introduce himself and his podcast and talk about that for a second, and then we'll get into other things. This podcast, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, but I'll probably have on more guests like Darryl that have podcasts or have disc golf companies or pros or just local amateurs, things like that. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. We're very excited. Well, I'm very excited. I think Darryl is excited to be on this. So if you don't know, over the last couple years, I've been on a podcast series with Darryl called AceBabie's Adventures, and it's kind of been about my tour life on the pro tour, on A tiers, whatever tournaments I'm playing. And so this is sort of coming from that and going to be an extension of that. So we hope you enjoy. Anyway, go ahead, take it away. Tell them about yourself.
Okay. I am Darryl with a cold, aka the D. Oh my gosh. My voice was great till like 2 minutes ago. It literally was great 2 minutes ago.
When I got home from Olympus, his voice sounded pretty bad. I was like, you're losing your voice.
I'm losing my voice, but I'm okay now, I think. So, from the Simply Incredible Disc Golf. That's
No,
not
it's, can you close the door?
Oh.
Sorry, someone arrived and they are being loud.
I almost died. Hey, I know who that is.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
He's back.
Now, what was I doing?
You were introducing yourself.
Okay, Darryl, aka the D, from the Simply Incredible Disc Golf, and I have podcasts. I've had many guests on, lots of pros.
AceBabie.
Yeah, we have a series going that hopefully at some point we'll get it going again.
Or maybe do some more episodes.
And like I say, lots of guests have been on. Amateur disc golfer, hits a lot of trees, but has a lot of fun playing. So that's what my channel is, Simply Incredible Disc Golf.
Yes, and check out his most recent video, which is the two of us playing Lake Parker, right?
No.
Or is it somewhere else? Where?
No, that's the second most recent.
Oh.
One just released today with me and Big Andy, a.k.a. Mr. AceBabieee. So that came out today. So, but the last one before that was me
Chuck.
with me getting my backside beat. But she was awesome.
I was more awesome at Peace River. I'm very excited for we didn't get to make it through the whole round, the whole 18 before it got dark. It was getting pretty dark by hole 12, but I was slaying it, the front 9. So he'll definitely post that. Very excited about it. A lot of the holes that I birdied, I maybe birdied like 1 or possibly 2 of them in a single round, but never like that many in the front 9. So I was very happy with all of that. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. So first we decided we're going to talk a little bit about the tournament that I'm currently playing. Today was the first day. It is Throw Down the Mountain. which for those of you who are not from the Florida area or familiar with that, Throwdown the Mountain is a very big tournament that they run every single year, and it spans over 4 separate weekends where they separate divisions across those 4 weekends. So last weekend was Supreme Flight Open, which is the first Disc Golf Pro Tour event of the year, and I tried to get into that one. I was second on the wait list. I thought I would get in, but unfortunately I didn't. But I had a blast caddying for Lauren Butler, also known as Dream Disc Golf, and that was super fun. So we'll talk about that a little bit more afterwards, and kind of the first Pro Tour stop. Darryl also went as well, so I'm sure he has a little bit to say about that later. But anyway, so that was last weekend. That's all at Olympus, which is in Brooksville, Florida. It's an amazing course. They've put so much work into it over the last couple months, and I know Danny, he's done so much. It looks amazing. So that was the Disc Golf Pro Tour event, and now this weekend is the first weekend of the Throwdown the Mountain, which is a lot of pro divisions. So you have FPO, MPO, a lot of the MP40, 50, 60 divisions, stuff like that. So there are 12 ladies in the FPO division, 2 of which we have Owen Scoggins, we have Katrina Allen, the Lynn's twins, just Ned, a bunch of people from the area. So it's a really, really awesome female card, FPO card, I think. So today was day 1 and shot really well. I had a lot of amazing putts, a lot of like edge of circle 1 putts. I had a circle 2 putt. Yeah, it was great lineup. Pretty excited about it. I'm loving how my game is going right now. 2 days ago was 600 days of putting every single day, and it's just amazing how my putt has progressed over these 600 days, and the confidence that I have in my putting, and just the accuracy I have in my putting. So my last 2 tournament rounds, which would have been Monday, I played a flex start. I had 100% from C1, so I made all of my circle 1 putts, and many of the putts were like edge of circle 1. And then today I also made all of my circle 1 putts and 1 circle 2 putt. So pretty excited about that. Also just feeling really good about most of my game. I would like to get more distance, is really the main thing that I'm missing, but for now I'm focusing more on accuracy and building up my confidence, especially with my backhand, because I lost a lot of that confidence. Really, it started, I kind of got the yips with my backhand at the 2024 Pro Worlds in Lynchburg, Virginia, and have been struggling ever since to get that back. So I've been doing a lot of things in the off season. I've been doing a lot of things since the season starts. I'm starting to feel really good about it. Yeah, it was just such a fun course to play today. I love the changes that Paul Macbeth and others have put into the course, and like the handiwork from Danny. It's just, it was such a fun course. There was a little bit of confusion today with hole 2 because they had it was the same tee shot as all the divisions had for Supreme Flight Open, except they added this OB line that went caddy corner into, like, with the line of that fairway, which meant that my forehand drive that I thought was amazing ended up being OB by about this much. So, and then I tried to play to the wrong basket. So I tried to go to the blue basket instead of the red basket. So when I threw my throw, I was just trying to land in the fairway to give myself a good shot to, go up to the blue basket, which is the basket that they played for Supreme Flight Open, FPO and MPO. But instead, it was not that one. I was pin high to the right basket, but I was still a good, 120 feet away. So
I did that at Peace River.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Which hole was that?
Whatever, I got like an 8 on the hole. Yeah,
Okay.
I hit a bunch of trees, but
Yeah.
back over.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, was pretty exciting first round. I got to play with Morgan, Sandy, and Katana, and we just had really awesome vibes, super chill. I'm currently tied for 6th out of 12 people, which I'm very excited about. I believe my rating was like just over 900 rated, which I'm pretty happy about. Like that's kind of a goal of mine this year, is to like maybe not get to 900, but get really like start progressing in that direction, because last year I spent a lot of time just going downhill with my rating. So anyway, very excited about that. Today is day 1, and then we have tomorrow, Saturday, and then Sunday as well. So
901.
follow 901. So follow along. Tea time should be around 10:50, I think, Eastern time. Let's check.
Yep,
Yep,
10:50.
10:50. There we go. I'm
On the dot.
I'm on Chase card, so let's go. All right. Well, now there's that. Does anyone have any? If anyone has any questions, just try to ask us. Daryl and or I will try to do our best to like see the questions. But let's get started with you, Daryl, and like how you got into the podcast world. Like I know it didn't start with disc golf. How did you get into that? Why did you decide to switch over, transition to disc golf? And what would you say the future holds for your podcast specifically?
Well, if I can talk, that's the key. If I can talk, what happened was we started out in comic books. I'm a huge comic nerd. And one day I was like, let's talk to a couple of my friends. And we started a comic book podcast. The Simply Incredible Podcast is what we called it. So after a while, we took a break and we just never got back. And most of it was because of COVID, and I wasn't collecting much at the time. So we started playing disc golf, me and some other friends, and I just fell in love. Fell in love with disc golf. It is so awesome. Y'all already know that. But and then I was like, we actually started the disc golf stuff on the comic book channel, and we had our disc golf chat. But what that was at the time was just me and a couple of my disc golf friends talking about disc golf, talking about the players and all that stuff. And then later on I was like, well, a lot of comic book people don't care about disc golf. A lot of disc golfers don't care about comic books. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Make a whole channel. Start from scratch, make a whole channel. And as time went on, just making videos, playing, I decided I wanted to find a way that I could add to the community. And my disc golf is never going to be a pro level. It's never going to be, I doubt I'll ever get to MA2 level. But if I do, that'd be awesome. And so after that, I was like, you know what? I will reach out to players, see if anybody wants to come on to a podcast. Chelsea Howes was the first person I reached out to, and she was like, sure, I'll be on.
And she had a podcast herself as well for a long time.
Hers is on the mental side of disc golf, which really awesome. She's talked to a lot of players, really, really awesome. The second person I had on the podcast, I was shocked at this, was Juliana Korver.
Yeah, awesome. That's so cool.
I was just like, I thought I was being pranked at first, and when I saw her on there, I was like, oh my gosh, it really is the 5-time champ. So we've just kind of been building from there and having fun. And I reached out to people, was like, who do y'all know who could be on? And I think it was 3 or 4 people mention you. And I was like, I'll reach out to her. Brooke was one of them that reached out, that told me. So I was like, I'll reach out to you. And you were like, sure, I'll be on.
Yep.
And as we talked through the conversation, I was like, I think it'd be really cool. I mean, literally, as the podcast was going, I was thinking, I would really like to do a series of kind of like someone touring and doing stuff. And I reached out and I was like, hey, would you be interested in that? And you were like, let me think about this. Hold on, pump the brakes.
I think I was more of like, if you take care of the back end of everything,
Mhm.
then I'll help with the graphics and let's do it.
Yeah. And she reached back to me a few days later, and here we are.
2 years later.
2 years later. Yep. It's close to 2 years to the day, I believe.
Yeah, I think that we figured out. Juliana, it was really cool. I think we figured out that it's the 18th. Like the 18th of this month will
March
be
18th, yep.
2 years exactly. So pretty cool. So who would you say have been your the favorite people that you've interviewed, other than me, of course?
I mean, is there anyone else?
You said it. So.
Nate Sexton was really awesome. Big Germ was really awesome. And the funny thing about me and Big Germ is we were on for over an hour and a half, and we never even talked about the things that I really want to start with. So hopefully he'll be back on and actually talk about winning USDGC, the Joe Mess stuff, the putting league and stuff like that, which would be awesome. But
yeah, he kind of does like podcast stuff himself, so he's sort of a chatty guy.
He is, and I love that because it makes my job so much easier.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's kind of a chatty guy too, so he doesn't really need any help.
Very quiet.
Not true.
But let's see, who else was that? Tyler Wozniak. A lot of people may not know Tyler.
I do know Tyler.
And he mentioned you as well. And I had him on, and he was like, hey, would you like to have someone like a sports psychologist on? Because he knows a guy at Clemson. I was like,
nice. Clemson.
That would be cool. Because the brain has a lot to do with how people play and how people handle the challenges of competition. And we talked, and I was like, that was awesome. So Tyler, awesome guy, really, really good dude. So that's another guy that I really, really had a lot of fun chatting with. So, but all the other people too, I had a great time with everybody. It's so much fun being able to talk to people. I told my brother, I was like, when we were little, if we could talk to someone like Cal Ripken Jr., if you knew Cal Ripken Jr. back in the day, or Ken Griffey Jr. back in the day, those guys playing that we idolized watching baseball, is like, I'm doing that in disc golf. And I was like, that's just so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say do next for this Simply Incredible Disc Golf podcast?
Just reaching out to a lot more players.
Would you want to talk about that this weekend and what you were able to do at some pre-flight open? Get to talk to some players.
I'll tell you why I normally don't, because sometimes they back out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like say so and so said they'll be on the podcast and then you never hear from them. So I don't want to put anybody in that kind of position. But I talked to like 4 or 5 people that
hitting trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trees.
I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of that as well.
Yeah. But like I said, I've got a few people I've been talking to. I try to kind of avoid asking people during the season because, I mean, they're traveling week to week. They're playing. They're practicing. On the spare time that they do have, with little time, they're with family and stuff. So I'm kind of like, I try to keep it to the off season. But if players want to be on during the season, for an hour or two, I will gladly have them on as then too. Because I try to be respectful of their time because it's a full-time job, as you know, traveling.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, that's exciting. So just more of that. And then, of course, on your normal page, I'm sure, playing a bunch of casual rounds. And
again, we have another round coming up with you. We have a tournament round that I'm actually editing right now.
Yeah, I recorded his tournament round, and he actually got second place.
Spoiler.
At his very first tournament. It was a flex start of the 2026 season, so a part of his 2026 Disc Golf Florida Tour, and did really well, shot well over your rating, and took second place out of how many people?
I think it was
Like
12,
12
13,
or
something like that. I think we both had 12.
Yeah. So pretty awesome. Awesome way to start the season.
Yeah, it's when you see the first hole, it's like, wow, there's no way. I bogeyed hole 1, like a 10-foot putt, and I followed her on that.
I double bogeyed hole 1. I'm pretty
No,
sure it
yeah,
was
no,
bad.
I'm just saying.
I think I forgot to putt. How to putt.
You missed the short putt, then I come right behind you and clank it.
I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that I had 2 flex starts back to back.
Mm-hmm.
No elevation helped. Honestly, in some of these Florida courses, the elevation is insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But yeah, at that course, there really wasn't a ton of elevation.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the first one you played had a little bit.
yes, the first one was the Quarry, and then Floral Park was the second one, which is the flex start that Darryl played. And yeah, I was the only one in my division, so I won.
She won 2 in one day.
Yeah, I did. But I think I was the only one in both of those. But then the flex start on Monday, I did have one other girl that was with me. It's a problem because a lot of girls don't join in the flex starts, and also flex starts are typically very bad for ratings. So especially it's already kind of difficult for females depending on like who we're rated against in tournaments. So some tournaments just rate really poorly, but flex starts in general rate pretty poorly. So sometimes it's that, sometimes it's just that it's just hard to get more females that are as crazy as I am. When you come to Chuck is going to teach you how to play, apparently.
Yeah, he's already, we've been discussing that. He's already told me he's just going to basically mop up the floor with me. But hey, you'll get what you'll get it. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Luke. Yeah, I was very happy with my round today. Yeah, and left a lot out there. Like I had 2 rollaways that ended up in 2 extra strokes, unfortunately. And then some other things that happened. Yeah, like hole 2. So yeah, you guys will be hobbling around on the course together.
Yeah. I tweaked my hip this weekend too, so there's that. It's not even a real hip, and I tweaked it.
Yep. How old is your hip?
Like 5.
5 years.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait. Oh my gosh. When you get old, time flies really quick. It just turned 7.
7. Okay.
Wow.
So your hip is 7, and Holly, your kidney,
kidney
almost
is
15.
Yeah, it'll be 15 coming up shortly.
She's a rebellious teenager.
She is.
What can I say?
Yeah.
So yeah, even more impressive with what Darryl is doing with the channel and recording and playing disc golf and getting out there and everything is that he's had a lot of, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but a lot of like health issues and a lot of surgeries when he was younger. So he's definitely overcame a lot to.
Only 48 operations, but who keeps count?
Yeah, only 48.
2 transplants. Both knees were straightened because my legs were crooked. Hip replacement and just
Yeah, so not much is pretty
20
much
plus years on dialysis, but again, no one keeps track of it.
Yeah, no one's
no
keeping
one
track.
does.
Exactly.
My doctor even quit counting.
Yeah, stop whining. Like, it's really nothing.
I will tell you what I will whine about. I had a chance, I thought, to win that event. I thought I was tied at 3 under with somebody, and I got a bogey, and I was like, oh. Later found out someone was 6 under, but I got a birdie on the very next hole, so I ended up being tied for second. So I thought I had a chance to win, but that's okay.
Yeah, he was a little upset about it too.
I was upset about it. I was very
upset. About the bogey.
But I come right back with not only did I make a birdie, it was a C2 putt on that birdie. It was a bomb.
Pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's enough of that. Let me. You know, one other thing that.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is what I found out this year compared to last year on the 2025 Florida Disc Golf Tour. Somebody has gotten a lot better in the past year. When we were playing Peace River, there was a couple of backhands that were amazing. But there was these 2 forehands in particular. I was like, oh my goodness.
I think I unlocked a new level. I leveled up with a new disc that I'm using to flick with, and kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's the D3 Max Air Plastic. And if I just get that, it just flies so straight and then does a nice little dump at the end and little flare skip sometimes.
So. I mean, I want to give you a lot of respect for a lot of props. I know we talked for the last year how much struggles you've had, but I mean, I see that corner being turned and turned fast. I didn't know you prior to your health issues, but I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine you getting there and going right on past where you were before. You're just playing phenomenal.
I'm very excited about my play right now. And for what he's talking about, because this is the first AceBabie's Adventure podcast. So I don't talk about it a whole lot. Not that I don't want to. It just doesn't come up as much. But I got cancer back in the beginning of 2023. And it was right when I had literally just started the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Like I was really moving up, progressing really well. And like I knew where I was headed. I was in a really good place. And I'd been in a lot of pain before that, but I just thought it was like, I've had a lot of health conditions my entire life, specifically like stomach stuff and ulcerative colitis and IBS type things. And so I just thought it was a flare up and I had like ulcers or something like that, but it ended up being a pretty large tumor that was cancerous, ovarian cancer, and that stemmed from endometriosis, which I also found out that I had at that time. So I had my very first Disc Golf Pro Tour event in February of 2023. And I believe that might have been the last year that was a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, the Las Vegas Challenge. So I played that event. That was February. Then I went to Austin to play the Open at Austin. And then I went to Florida to actually play my first ever throw down the mountain in FA1. And there were 16 competitors and I won that year. It was pretty cool. So I was still doing pretty well, even though I'd been in a lot of pain. Drive back or fly back to Texas and play Texas States. Then I get back to Florida for the FPO weekend of Throw Down the Mountain, and that's when I figured out that I probably had cancer. So it was like a very whirlwind of a happening, and I had, that was the end of March, and then the middle of May, I think, it was like a month and a half later, I had surgery to remove it, and just everything changed, like my body, what it went through as a result of that. Just so many things changed. I mean, I've even noticed gaining strength back even within the last like half of a year, and we'll be 3 years in May, so that's it's crazy that it's been that long and it's taken that long for my body. But it wasn't just the cancer. I also got Lyme disease less than a year later. So the following April I was at Jonesboro and just still trying to like really fight my way back, and I lost my backhand more than anything. Like I just didn't have power. I mean, I could get to 315, 320 feet with a standstill with my backhand. And then now I'm at a point to where, I mean, I'm struggling to get 250 even with a backhand. And so it was very discouraging. And then I know this is kind of going into a lot of the detailed background story a little bit, but it is very relevant to where I'm at right now. Yes, stronger. But so 2024 I played Pro World. So I had the cancer, I had major surgery, obviously kind of wrecks the body a bit. I was like, I thought I was going to die a couple times. It was like pretty bad. I'm trying to work through and get my backhand back. And literally like right before I got Lyme disease, I was just starting to gain some confidence back in my backhand. And then all of it was completely shattered in April of 2024. And it just really like messed with my mental game so much. It messed, like my physical game was all messed up. When you're starting from a certain point and then you have discs that they fly a certain way, and then you go through something very extreme physically, and then you try to throw those same discs and nothing flies the way that you think it should, Or if you like really try, then maybe you can kind of get it to fly how it did, but it's not consistent. So there's like no confidence. So you think like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't use those same discs. Maybe I should switch to a different disc. Or you think, okay, if I switch to a different disc, maybe I should try like different weights of things. So you're just trying so many different things, and then that adds more variability into your throw. It adds more issues with like confidence and stress and just all of these different things that I'm trying to manage and figure out, okay, what do I need to do? And I'm working through it. And then bam, I got Lyme disease. And then that like really knocked me out. I mean, I had to drop from Jonesboro Open. I had to withdraw from the Music City Open for the following weekend. And then I barely made it back, I think, the following weekend to Champions Cup to play that at Northwood Black. And love that course, by the way. So that was April, and then August was Pro Worlds, and right before Pro Worlds, like a couple weeks or a week or so, was Amateur Worlds, and I played in that, and I did like so terribly. I threw my first 700 rated round that I'd thrown in like 2 years. I don't think I've thrown a round that was rated in the 700s in like 2 or more years. It might have been 3 years even. It was close to like the beginning when I had started, since I had thrown a 700 rated round, but it was just so bad, and a lot of it was my backhand. I just couldn't rely on it. So there, around that time, I think I was already starting to kind of get to the point to where I was feeling like I had imposter syndrome, like I don't belong here. I don't even belong hardly playing in Amateur Worlds, let alone now I'm going to Pro Worlds. That was like the biggest imposter syndrome ever, and it started there, and I really struggled with imposter syndrome honestly up until late last year. So it was kind of at the Puerto Rico Open where I had this moment of like realization where I realized, no, I actually really do belong here. So that was cool. But anyway, during Pro Worlds at Ivy Hills, just not a fun course at all. It like doubly punishes you if you don't have distance, because you need distance to get over the more pinched areas that have OBs in them. Mm-hmm. So not only are you not getting as far as the other players, but then you're needing to land in these much tougher landing zones in order to not get stroked. So it was not a fun course. It was not great. And you really kind of needed your backhand. And I started out, I don't know which round it was, but I started out by grip locking just awful. I mean, I've never grip locked. I think I'd only grip locked in a tournament once ever before, in the entire time I played. Then I think I grip locked my disc 5 times in a row, 5 throws. I mean, like the worst grip lock. Like I'm trying to go this direction, the disc literally goes like a 90-degree angle in the other direction. It was pretty bad. So working through all of that, and where I am now, and just my confidence level, my feeling of belonging, my enjoyment of just playing rounds. Like I loved today. Today was so much fun. I was calm. I was chill. I was like breathing when I needed to breathe a little bit before my putts. It was a fun round. Like I enjoyed myself. I had energy afterwards. I was loving it. So to go from where I've been over the last few years and dealing with cancer and Lyme disease and all of this stuff, and then working so hard on my putting. I mean, I've been putting every day for 600 days. So doing all of that and trying to figure out what the best thing I need to do in order to start incorporating my backhand back into my throw. So at Am Worlds last year, it was in Columbia, Missouri, really fun courses. I injured my arm, like right here where I could not throw the flick. Like it was so painful. And that started during the second round. And that was like a very awful round for me. And so I literally had to stop throwing my forearm. Like I stopped throwing my forearm entirely for like 2 months, I think, and just didn't throw it at all. I did a little bit of PT, not really enough, but what I used that, it was an opportunity to force myself to throw the backhand and nothing else. So I would have to like get better at that. And now I'm trying to do like a good balance between like throwing the backhand, throwing the forearm, stuff like that. So to see where I've come, the confidence, the like working through the mental game aspect of it, like what you were talking about, like that's been so huge for me. And not just with disc golf. Like one thing I found out early on with disc golf is that when you work on yourself and your character and your patience and your reality in disc golf, that like translates directly to real life. And so there's so many things that like I've worked in real life that translate to disc golf, and disc golf that translate to real life, and vice versa. It's like all so connected. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for this year. I feel like I'm in an amazing place in every single aspect. Not just my game, my putting, just my mental health and well-being. Aw, Thofpo. It's future of FPO. Boom. Thanks, Luke. Anyway, it's, yeah.
Does it? No, not for me. Still done. I still can't make that happen.
We're trying to make it work.
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe that was just on StreamYard. I don't know.
Yeah, it might just be on something with StreamYard.
That flopped.
Oh well. Anyway, very exciting things for this year. I feel amazing. I have been like so fatigued over the last few years. I mean, like to the point to where doing anything just feels awful. And so now I have energy. I'm really excited. There's a lot of things coming ahead, but we'll get into some of that later. I feel like I've been talking long enough. I've kind of given some of my story, so we'll get back to Darryl and include him in this podcast a little more. How does that sound?
That sounds awesome.
All right. So what do you want to talk about next? The Florida tour or something else?
So anyway, I was
go.
invited down here last year.
Yes.
And we were kind of like, do we really want to have a week and a half? And last year when I come down, we had so much fun. So much fun. And I was like, and it was like close to the end before I was leaving, I was like, so should we have a sequel? 2026?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Again,
again,
he gets to get out of the cold.
Yes.
Enjoy the beautiful Florida weather.
Yes. In Virginia, and I know my Ohio friends up there. They were telling me the weather's been just brutal. We had an ice storm. It was like 6 inches of ice, and it stayed around for over 3 weeks. Like we couldn't even get. I could barely even get out of my driveway. It was so bad. And it took them almost a week to get to some people's roads because it was so bad. And we were like, yeah, let's do this. And like our winter league has been almost completely canceled, but they did get in a few tournaments. So coming down here and seeing Rebecca and Big Andy, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. It definitely helps out between the ears, I will tell you. Definitely mental fatigue just being sitting there freezing. So it's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad you're able to come.
So we played a few rounds, played my first ever Florida tournament. So yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently I own Florida. I mean, second in my first tournament. I don't even do that in Virginia.
He's been to the comic book store multiple times.
I mean, I will mention this. My YouTube channel has so many friends in the comic book world. One of my friends hasn't been doing real well, lives in Orlando, and a whole bunch of the comic book community kind of went to Orlando to hang out with him. Wished him the best. He's got some stuff coming up. But my man, you're awesome. Yeah. So it was awesome being able to spend a day with all the guys. So that was awesome. Oh, and by the way, Olympus, it shouldn't be that hilly. It shouldn't.
It's not like Florida, is it?
No. Somebody said...
It doesn't belong here. It's like they transplanted Olympus from some other state and just dropped it in Florida, in Brooksville, Florida.
Because I think Chris, my friend Chris may have said, everything's flat. How is that course so hilly? And I'm like, That's the correct answer. Or question. Question. And the answer is, it was a quarry.
Yeah.
So
it's
that's
a quarry.
so that's how.
And then
So,
there is the quarry, which was also a
yes.
quarry. So they have a lot of quarries here, apparently.
Yes. And that's not Corey.
No.
Quarries.
Q-U-A-R-R-Y.
Q-U-A-R-Y. Dad joke. I'll see myself out.
Yeah, goodbye.
My first ever signed disc. There it is. That's hers.
Yes. He brought this to me. He signed it.
The D.
Doo, doo, doo. We'll put that there. You take that. Throw it.
Yeah. I don't want to break anything. There won't be a 2027 if I break anything. So what's next?
Well, I think you had mentioned that you wanted to hear a little bit more about caddying for Lauren this past week.
I talked to someone else that had caddied, and one of the things that they told me was because they didn't make the tournament either, and she was like, it sucks not to be in the tournament. But she said, I learned a lot walking in the group and everything. So what was your thoughts of being a caddy, learning or just being around the players as they're playing, focusing on lines? And also, did that help you this weekend?
It definitely helped me overall, this weekend included as a part of that. So I'm trying to think of exactly how to explain this. So it helped me in the sense of I was able to see these shots that I knew, hey, I can do that. But like I haven't tried them much in a while. In fact, that was that one backhand of mine on kind of that narrow at Peace River, the narrow one with all the trees and you have to get through it, and then the backhand to the basket. That type of shot I really only considered because of the Supreme Flight Open. And I think it's just because I don't watch a lot of coverage. Not because I wouldn't like to, it's just because I don't think about it or don't make time for it. I'd like to make more time for it. But it's also different being able to see these ladies do some of these shots in person. It really is a difference. And Lauren has a lot of power. So she can throw. Hi, Lauren. Love you. She has a lot of power. She's very tall. Has a nice big wingspan and can throw putters and mid ranges pretty far.
When I met her in person, that's the first thing that struck me. I didn't realize she was that tall.
Yeah, she makes me look short, and I'm not really that short for a female. I'm usually one of the taller ones. So, yeah, just being able to see her play. I've seen her play before, but other players as well. It really just gave me, I had the thought of, yeah, I could do this. Maybe not at Own's level yet, or
no one's at Own's level.
Other people's level,
she's
but
insane.
But getting there and at a place to where I feel like I could really compete and I could play solid rounds at a course like that. So I played the same layout as what the FPO players played twice. Once the Monday before the tournament for the Monday qualifier. And at that point, that was my 5th tournament round in 3 days. So my body was just so exhausted. I'd played 2 really long courses on Saturday for a 1-day 2-round tournament, 2 different courses. Then I played the same course twice on Sunday, PPP, Green Gauntlet, which anybody who knows that course, it's a beast of a course. Amazing course, but it's a long course. So then, now it's Monday, and I got up very early to go. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. It's just been so much. So my body was just very fatigued by Monday. I was struggling, and I could tell I was struggling. My body wasn't able to do a lot of the things that I needed to do at that point just because I pushed it so hard. But I was still proud of how I played. I was like happy with how I played, even though it wasn't like the best round. It was like okay. I think I ended up shooting like 18 or 19 over, maybe something like that. And then feeling much better a week later, I played the flex start there, the same course, and I shot 10 over, 9 over, 10
I think it was 9, I believe.
So like 10 strokes better, and it felt like very doable. Like I knew that I could have even done better than that. So those were the only times I played out. I didn't have any practice rounds. And this weekend was fairly different. They did change most of the holes for FPO for Throw Down the Mountain. So that was different. Some of those changes got me in a little bit of trouble, but yeah, no, I definitely feel like it helped me a lot. And then it also gives you perspective on just, especially courses like that, just playing clean, like not bogeying the holes, having a solid round, and then other than that, it was just really good vibes on the card. I got to Ratana McMahon is actually playing this weekend, and she played last weekend, and she was on the card with Lauren 2 of the 3 days, and she was really fun. I really enjoyed getting to watch her play. And then I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to play with her this weekend as well. We'll see. But yeah, it was a really good experience for me, and it was also fun being on the other end of things because I don't caddy as much. But I can be a very good caddy. Like if I've just been around you for a little bit of time, I actually could help. But I never like caddied for Lauren before, so I didn't, I didn't do any suggestions, but at the third round, I started giving her some suggestions, and she followed them, and she did really well with them, and she was like, yes, boss. So I actually think it would be really fun to like work with her a little bit more. I enjoy playing with her, and she's just such an athlete, and is really good at disc golf, has a lot of power, and is just a fun person. So I would love to like caddy again for her, and who knows, maybe some other people in the future if I have time. Yeah, I could maybe caddy for you.
I mean, she's already given me one suggestion that you will see in an upcoming video.
Yep.
No spoilers.
I did. It took him long enough to listen, though, because he was like, no, I do not need a
It only took me like 2 rounds.
Yeah, I kept telling him what he needed to do, and finally he listened. Whatever.
But
anyway, yeah, I would definitely say that experience was really cool for me, because it's like, as a player, it's a lot to just think about the shots that you have, what's coming next, staying calm, keeping your head in the game, like all of those things. So you don't have time to think about as many other factors as when you're a caddy. When you're a caddy, you get to see all of these aspects, and like, I know Lauren's play well enough to be able to think about, okay, this is my thought about like her play, how she could throw the disc, how it would work out, whether I say anything or not. It's still like a really good exercise to be able to think about and evaluate holes based on what you know about your own play or some other person's play, and what's the best decision. Like oftentimes in disc golf, especially if you don't have crazy power, like you need to consider what's the smartest play. Not, oh, if I do this driver and throw it exactly right, I will hit that line and I'll be in like the perfect spot for a vert. Sometimes it's just, no, this is the highest percentage shot, and I know that if I throw the perfect, best possible shot that has maybe a 70% chance of success, but if I throw this other shot that's still going to get me par or maybe even a chance for birdie, that's more of a like a 90%, 95% shot. So it's really important to consider all of that when you're playing a tournament and when you're playing a hole, to kind of break it down in that way and think about the percentages, like what type of a shot is a more high percentage shot to like miss the trees that you're coming up on for an approach shot, things like that.
Yeah, one of the things I've thought about for a long time is don't be afraid to take a par.
Yeah.
Because I see so many people, they're like, they take this huge risk, get a double bogey when they had an easy par in front of them. So there are times to push. There are times to just pull back a little bit and say, let me just take this, get my par, go on to the next hole.
Yeah, and there's definitely different levels, obviously. You know, Owen's level, it's like, yeah, she's going to always be pushing for birdies, and birdies are more like pars for her.
I mean, 7 under on the back 9 at Olympus. That's insane.
But for someone like me, it's like, I mean... If I had just gotten the birdies I got and then parred everything else, then, you know, that would have been great. As it stands, I was a 1 over, which I was very happy with. Not bad at all. But definitely had some bogeys out there that were not very necessary. Or double bogeys that weren't very necessary, but... it was good. So, yeah, I don't know if I broke that down very well, but I definitely gained a lot from... being at the event, because a lot of other times when I've gone to these events, it's not that I didn't want to learn more from them or be more involved. It's just that physically I couldn't handle it. Like I was too worn out, too exhausted to be able to do all of the things that I am able to do right now, which is crazy because this is just a recent thing. Like I'm just starting to feel really, really good again. It kind of really had a shift the very beginning of December. So, you know, we're 3 months, a little over, I guess.
Right around 3.
Yeah, right around 3 months. Almost exactly 3 months actually of like feeling better. You both use earbuds during tournaments or 50-50. I've really gone back and forth on earbuds a lot. I found that it's something I don't feel like I can just make a decision on, yes, I'm going to wear earbuds or I'm not going to. Like if I do, I definitely only wear one. But I find that if I'm like doing really well, I'm feeling solid, and the card is like really vibing and talkative a lot, then I would rather just be like in it. Like sometimes I'll put my headphones in my cart or my bag thinking, okay, like I'll put these in at the beginning or whatever, and then if we're talking more, I just won't really listen to the music and I'll just engage with the people I'm playing with.
She has them in all the time when me and her are playing.
He's just not very talkative, you know? That's a lie. He actually is very talkative. Yeah. He'll be like, sign, squirrel, tree,
squirrel.
Yeah,
there's a.
That's pretty much it. So.
Pine thingy on there. I'm going triple. Yeah, I'm very chatty.
So I have to distract myself with music.
I mean, I've been thinking about the last 10 minutes of those hot dogs over there. Hot dogs.
These are my emotional support hot dogs. Aren't they cute?
Aren't they so cute?
Last
10 minutes I've been staring at those. For me, earbuds, no. I mean, that just distracts me. I like it things as quiet as possible when I'm playing.
Darryl will not let me play music.
Nope.
Darryl.
Nope. But hey, earbuds. Go with the earbuds.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can really like it sometimes. Mm-hmm. I actually have something I tried. And I need to go back to it. How do you deal with annoying card mates asking for a friend? It really depends on the situation. I've had a lot of annoying card mates sometimes I've had annoying parents of card mates, even. Or just like kind of inappropriate, like maybe not inappropriate. Well, let's just say saying things that they should not be saying, either to other players or their daughters, kind of like say, no, don't do it like that, like just stopping them like mid-throw almost. But yeah, I would say if I have annoying card mates, I try very hard to let them do whatever it is they're doing, and I focus on centering myself and getting to a really good place with me where I can still enjoy it. The toughest times with that is when like I'm exhausted emotionally and physically, and it's all I can do. Like I don't even have enough energy and emotional resources to even like give enough to myself, let alone deal with other maybe annoying card mates or whatever. But if it's someone who's like consistently just not that great to play with or isn't a good card mate, then I will just engage with them a lot less. If they like want to engage with me more, like generally I'll engage with them more, but yeah, it just depends on the thing. Like if it's something that needs to be spoken up about, like say they're taking an extremely long time on every single shot, then like maybe something should be said, but usually that doesn't end up happening, and there's a lot of like there can be a lot of problems with trying to bring up issues. So yeah, that's a tough question to answer because it really just depends on the person. It depends on if it's the first time happening. It depends on, do you have something else?
I asked Big Germ this very question, and Germ was like, "It's fine to a point. When it reaches that point, when it's affecting the other people on the card, you have two choices: let them keep doing it, or like, look, this is affecting all of us. We're pros here. Don't, stop. Just stop."
Yeah.
And I've literally seen him do that on videos before. And I asked him about that. I was like, so how do you deal with that? And he's like, look, you have to have respect for yourself and respect for the game. Because if that's affecting everyone else, you're not respecting yourself or the game to let it keep going on.
Yeah, so I actually had a situation recently at I think it was the very beginning of this year, a tournament I went to, and for whatever reason, they put me on cards with like MA1 players that weren't even playing the same T-pad as I was, even though there were divisions that were playing the same T-pad as I was playing. I think we may have always been 3-packs as well. So there was this younger kid that was on the card, and his dad was there with him, and I played two of the 3 rounds with this kid, and he was obviously struggling with his emotion. Like I liked the kid. He seemed very talented, like up and coming, like he could really go far and everything. But he was getting really upset and kind of allowing his emotions to flow out into the rest of the card. It was definitely impacting me negatively. And I didn't say anything the first round because his dad kind of like addressed, he like punched the ground, and his dad kind of like addressed that. And so I felt like, okay, well maybe, his dad is kind of taking care of it. And then the next day, the third round, we were like 11 holes in, and he had still done a bunch of like little things. It just makes the energy really bad. You can feel it. You can feel that negative energy, throwing things around, kicking the bag, like whatever, just like punching himself, like whatever it is that he's doing. And it was very distracting. It was very bad negative energy. It was impacting me. I was pretty sure like the other guy, like it was impacting him some as well, and a lot of us were noticing it. Andy was noticing it. It kind of got to a point to where I felt like, okay, on hole 11, he was still kind of throwing a fit while I was trying to putt, and it was very distracting. And so I decided at that point, hey, I'm gonna talk to this kid. And like, I wasn't trying to be mean about it. Like, this is the first time I've ever, like, I wasn't even going to give him like a courtesy violation or anything. I actually kind of ended up doing that because of his dad, actually, which is sort of funny. Funny, but sad. So I waited until we were finished the hole. We got to the tee pad of the next hole, and I said, hey, you know, I just want to let you know that, like, you know, you getting upset and like punching things and like all of that is impacting me, and I think it's probably impacting the other car, but it's definitely impacting me negatively, and I just wanted to kind of like talk about it, ask if you could, you know, kind of be more aware of that and everything. And his dad like immediately like butted in and tried to like cut me, like stop me from talking and everything. And at that point I was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna have this, like that's not your place.
Nope.
And he was like almost like shushing me, like trying to get me to stop talking. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not cool. Like, we've literally been dealing with this for 1.5 rounds, and it's not been fun. You know, that part of it hasn't been fun and hasn't been good for the card mate. So that would definitely be someone who I would say falls within the veins of like an annoying card mate. And so I ended up calling a courtesy violation kind of on his dad, or on him, like sort of him, but it was because of his dad, because I didn't want to call a violation. All I wanted to do was just have a really quick conversation, try to make it as lighthearted as possible, which is kind of hard to do in that situation because it's awkward. Like, everybody's awkward, and then his dad ended up making it much more awkward. And so I mean, that was how I dealt with it, and I think I dealt with it the right way. I mean, I wouldn't change what I did. I think I made the right decision, and I tried to communicate what the problem was, and then the dad stepped out of line and tried to stop me from doing what I needed to do as a player, and thought, you know, he had the right to do that, which he doesn't. And so that I felt like was a way to handle it. It's like, address it, and it's kind of like what Germ said. If it gets to the point to where it's bothering you, like, you need to try to address it and talk about it with a person. And that may end up with feelings getting hurt, or people not liking you, or it being a little awkward. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are you going to do? Because if you don't talk about it, it's still going to bother you. If you talk about it, then at least there's some awareness. And like, my thought was, well, hopefully this kid will hear that and think, oh, hey, my actions are impacting other people, because it can be easy sometimes to sort of be like narrow-sighted, and we don't really see anything but ourselves and what we're doing in a tournament round. And it's important to at least be somewhat cognizant of the other card mates that you're playing with. And so that was a situation in which I needed to address it. And by the end of the round, we were all kind of like chill. We had sort of started like talking, but it was very awkward, and I did not play well for the next couple holes because of addressing it. But I still felt like I knew I had made the right decision in that case. So that, like, again, there's just so many different examples of like, what do you mean by an annoying player? Like, is someone doing something that's actually like a courtesy violation, or are they just being an annoying player? Or, you know, so there are a lot of different things. Like, if you have just an annoying player who's like talking to you all the time, then, you know, maybe you could put headphones in and kind of act like you're annoying them, maybe.
Get those earbuds.
Yeah. So if you want to ask like a follow-up, more specific question for your friend, then let me know.
What if someone does a flying sidekick on a tree after they miss a putt? I'm not saying I saw that on coverage one time, but I did. He has a beard.